He's just seeing how things are going.
Yeah.
And he knows that the way we're going, this is where we're going to end up. And he used music to tell us, but we know here. But now, everything that's happening in Nigeria right now, forget about just music alone. Go and listen to Fela's music. You will see everything Fela's been saying it over 40 years ago. It's in the music.
That's where I get all my energy from. From the stage to the studio and to my desk. I am the energy god. And you can be one too.
You're listening to Adeshokwe Live, the Afrobeats podcast.
Welcome, boys and girls, to a brand new edition of Adeshokwe Live, the official Afrobeats podcast, where we break down the hottest topics in the culture. And of course, I'm joined one-on-one by a special guest. As always, thank you very much for your subscriptions. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? The bigger our platform gets, the better we're in position to promote our own culture and our people without waiting for others to do so. So whilst you're watching, click the subscribe button. Make sure you like, comment, and share with friends and family so we can get bigger and better. And I promise you, as much as you subscribe and put your comments in there, if you want us to get a special guest or interview, put it in the comment section and we're going to do our best to make it happen. We appreciate the support. This is brought to you by Anko Car Sales. As always, if you're in the UK, trying to get yourself a brand new car, a second-hand car, a family car, a special type of car, go to Anko Car Sales and tell them Shopsidu sent you. They're going to provide you a special advisor who would look at your budget and try to work with it to get you your dream car. Better still, wherever you are in the UK, they're going to deliver it at your doorsteps at no extra cost. So make sure you follow Anchored Car Sales and tell them Shopsidu sent you. And I can guarantee they'll do their best to get you the best deal anywhere in the UK. As always, Energy God, energy drink. Drink and be yourself. Stay energized. This is for us by us. So make sure you go to energygod.com and pick up a pack. As always, mix it with your Martell, your Blue Swift. You already know how that goes. Anyway, if you're in Europe or the United States or America and want to send money back home to family and friends, look no further than downloading the Nala Money app. Send love home through Nala Money as easy as can be. All you have to do is download the app and boom, you can start the process. And guess what? For your first $50 or more money back home, you can get $10 cash back by using my promo code SHOPSY. So what are you waiting for? Download the app right now and start sending love home. Make sure you follow the Nyla Loves Nigeria Instagram page whilst you're at it. Anyway, joining me in the studio for the very first time, we've actually done one before, but it was uncensored. So we have to now do the censored version. Is an iconic filmmaker, a documentary maker, an executive music producer, an entertainment lawyer, an all-round curator of African pop culture and pop music. Is my own Egbon. Ayo Shonaiya is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
In fact, that intro is, my head is swelling.
But that it's almost difficult to introduce people like yourself who wear so many hats. A lot of recent people will know you as the documentary maker of the Afrobeats documentary that was on Netflix.
Yeah,
Backstory. But people like us know you before that. TV production, executive producing music, directing music videos, A&R music, lawyer, my brother. As best as you can, how would you describe yourself?
You see, that's funny because now at this stage of my career and my life, I just like to call myself Ayo Shonaiya, filmmaker. Because that's the next journey. Well, not the next journey. It's the journey I've been on before I went into music. But that's the journey that I'm reconnecting now. I'm back on that road again as a filmmaker. So I just say Ayo Shonaiya, filmmaker.
Wow.
Everything else, you can go and read on Wikipedia.
Now, the interesting thing is, yes, you talk about everything else that can be read on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Those include your days as an entertainment lawyer.
Still though.
Still entertainment lawyer, working with different superstars across the world, from
Yes.
the likes of Akon, the list goes on.
Mhm.
But for me, my first contact with you was in the early 2000s. Not only the Nigerian Independence Day parties and whatever, but most importantly and most impactfully was intro on the first ethnic minority channel in Europe
Yes.
called Ben Television.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Well, incidentally, or maybe fortunately, remember we were just at the Nigerian corner
Yes.
at the
Carnival.
Notting Hill Carnival. And I was, you know how me I am when everything is all set up and everything is going. When you guys now take over,
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of like just mill around
Just
to see if
sit
everything is
down,
going.
yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw Alistair Shoyode, who was the MD of Ben Television. It was such a strange feeling to see him at the carnival.
Yeah.
After all these years, and going back to Ben TV, he was the one that called me up one day and said, Ayo, all this time we've been talking about, he used to be a sports agent before, he used to be a
Yes.
football agent. And then he got a TV license and he called me and said, all this talk, we've been talking about film, we've been talking about programs. We used to talk about it,
Yeah.
but I never knew he was going to go and do it.
Do it.
He said, we have it now. We have our own television station. And I said, are you starting? He said, no. We have it. It's on Sky TV. And he said, are you at home? I said, yes. He said, go to channel 2. No, it was 238 then.
238.
I remember.
Yeah,
238.
238. First one, yeah.
And I turned 238 and there was some like religious,
Yeah.
just fillers.
Yeah.
You understand? I said, this looks like a Christian. He said, no, that's just fillers. We're just feeling, we don't have any
Space.
content. That's why I'm calling you. And that's how the journey started. In fact, on that day that he called me, he said, can you meet me at, what's the name of this newspaper back then? Voice.
The Voice newspaper,
The
yeah.
Voice newspaper.
Still active?
Yeah, they had an office in front of the Brixton.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's still,
I
that's the
think it's
same.
still
Yeah,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
So he said, can you meet me there because I have an interview? I said, okay, so after the interview, we can talk, right? And he said, yeah. So when I got to I even got there before him. And then when he met me there, he said, okay, I'm rushing, I'm late for this meeting. So we went up, we just went up into the office where they were going to do his interview. As I sat down, there were 3 people in the Voice, in the boardroom at the Voice newspaper, and we sat down. And the first thing he said is, oh, hi, my name is Alistair, blah, blah, blah. And this is Ayo Shonaiya, by the way. This is our programs director.
Boom.
And you know me.
I just started.
Yeah,
You
I was
kicked
like,
him
I just
straight away.
Mogbeje straight to me. And the guy said, oh yeah, what kind of programming are we going to be having? I said, well, we're going to be doing some African programming. We're going to be getting some. Alistair was looking at me like, this is why I got you here.
Wow.
I said, we're going to be doing some African programming. We're going to have some, drama. We're going to, do some programming from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Africa. And then most especially, we're going to have music. And that's what I said. In my head, that's the first thing that came to my head. The easiest thing to do was to put music videos
on.
Because MTV Base was just kicking off then.
Yeah.
So, we used to watch all those Trevor Nelson.
Yeah. The Lick.
Yeah, the Lick. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. In fact, the Lick was the very first thing that came to my head.
Absolutely.
Because that's what they asked me. They said, is this something like the Lick? I said, yes. We're going to have music videos. We're going to have, interviews. And I just kicked in. And basically, that's how it started.
Wow.
We finished that meeting. We went back downstairs. I think there was a Nando's downstairs. And then we had lunch and he told me about everything. And he said, the next person I'm going to see now is a guy called Adebayo Jones. Adebayo Jones is a fashion designer.
Yeah.
And he said he wanted to speak to Adebayo Jones about maybe bringing a program about fashion. He's just calling people.
Yeah.
I said, okay, let's go to Adebayo Jones. We went to Adebayo Jones. I pitched it to him. We're going to have a fashion show. We're going to, on that first day, what we were doing was producing television. We didn't know that it was going to be this thing.
That's
morning.
the brilliance of Nigerians, isn't it?
And then that night, after the whole euphoria of, okay, this thing is for real.
Yeah.
So I called my guy, Timmy Adegbite,
Yeah.
who's my number 2.
Yeah.
And I called him, I said, look, what we're going to do is we're going to start curating all our footages. We're just going to, first of all, put it on air. I told him about it. And I called 2 people. I called the guy called Yemi Shodimu. I don't know if you know Yemi Shodimu. He's a broadcaster.
Yeah.
He used to do Barada.
Yep.
He's a partner with Tunde Kelani.
Yep.
They used to do one program.
Yep.
He was in London at the time. I knew. So I said, I think we have something here. Do you want to meet me at the studio? I have not even been to the studio.
Wow.
I said, do you want to meet me at the studio tomorrow? I'll show you what we have. Maybe we can have some programming from Nigeria. Or if you want to. And the second person I called was Dio D1 Adeneye.
Wow.
D1.
He was at the carnival as well.
He was at the carnival. No, that's my bro.
Mm.
And I called him. He was in London as well. He was staying somewhere in Surrey Docks or in Rother Heights. And he didn't come to the studio. I went to go and see him. And then when I told him about the TV station, I said, Baba, we need videos from Kenny's music and everything. He said, yeah, whatever you want. He said, are you sure? I said, Shebi, you have Sky in this place. I said, press on that your remote control, press 238. And he did. And got so good. What we had put on in the first day, which was, I cut like a little bit of a promo, and I added one song by Kayode Olajide. I don't know if you know that song. No. That's the first song that we put on Ben.
Wow.
I just cut something like maybe 1 minute, like all my different, and then I put like a soundtrack, and at the end of it, I put Ben TV. So they were playing that like not even every hour, every 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
They would just be playing it because we didn't have programs. Yeah. So we've just been playing something coming soon. Got so good when D1 pressed the remote control, the channel, that's what popped up. And then, of course, I cut a little bit of Kenny and D1 into that promo.
I think
and
I
he saw himself.
Yeah.
He said,
UK TV.
He called Babakeke right away. And, and that's how everything started. Music videos first before we now started doing the programs, including intro.
Now, intro with DJ Abbas was very important for people like myself, including Ben Television, to be honest with you. Number one, for various reasons. Number one, it was the first place I'd see people that spoke like me presenting in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one.
Yeah.
So anybody like me who had a dream to ultimately go into the media space, there was an example that it could be done.
Yes.
Then number two, it was the only place or the first place that we could see African, particularly Nigerian entertainers.
Yes.
When they come to the UK.
Yes.
Sit by the table. Even when you were having transmission problems or whatever,
we're
ready to stick it out.
Our first... It wasn't transmission problem. We were transmitting okay. It was on Sky TV.
But sometimes
it was the studio.
A production.
We had a little studio in Warren Street. I can't remember the name of the street now, but the station was Warren Street. Yeah. It was a studio like this, and we had a green screen. Yeah. So I thought, okay, green screen, we can put whatever we want. Yeah. We'll create everything. But you see, with the sound, there's one guy, I shouldn't say I'm the first person to be there. Apart from Alistair, there's another guy called Uche Nwachukwu.
Yeah, Uche Kuchi.
Big up to Uche Kuchi.
Uche is all, he was there till the end.
Yeah, exactly, till the end. So, no, seriously.
Yeah.
But when Uche too was still learning when we got there. So he said, okay, this is what we do to record. We were not even doing live. That we'll record and then we'll take it downstairs, we ingest it, can you imagine we had 1 terabyte, our space at Ben TV then, 1 terabyte. It's so crazy. Like on my phone right now, I have like
2 or 3.
We had 1 terabyte. So all those little music videos, like we would digitize it and then ingest it and then play it on air. So I'm watching the studio. There's some Indian guys, Vivek. I'll never forget those names.
Are the guys that do the transmission.
Vivek. So Vivek was the one that gave me like a crash course to, know how to transmit and do everything. And then we had done about maybe 2 or 3 episodes of intro. Intro was the first program.
Yes.
I called DJ Abbas in and Jimmy Akini.
Yep.
So DJ Abbas was the one that, I chose to present the program. So we've done a couple of interviews. We've done with Charlie Boy. Charlie Boy was our first guest.
Yep.
We did Paul Play Dairo.
Yep, I remember.
And I remember the third person, JJC. So
who doesn't get his flowers enough, by the way.
Yeah. So I wanted to start another program. I wanted to start a program like a variety show, maybe for women, or where we can just put everything. And then there was Ronke Apampa. So I said, okay, you will just be the non-music. It will include music as well, but
it was more like an entertainment.
Yeah. And she said, what's the program about? I said, well, the program is about nothing, everything, something, anything. She said, what is that? I said, it's a pot. We just put everything that we can do on a music show.
Yeah.
So basically, we're talking fashion, we're talking food, we're talking general
just
knowledge.
Nigeria G's, entertainment news.
Everything. And I said, okay, we'll go around, focusing on everything, and I used to manage Wasiu. So there's a lot of people I know in London that we used to do shows for, like the Egbe Omo Ijebu. We'll go and cover their anniversary
events.
Or, we just anything we'll just put on.
Just to put on the station.
The variety show. So I wanted to go speak to Vivek again, which was out of our Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I got there like on a Monday or something like that. So I was waiting for Vivek outside. And I could see through the door that there was a little screen where there's a woman who's just sitting there, but she's not in the studio. She's just on the screen.
Yeah.
So I went in there to sit down inside the studio, and the program was going on. And I said, where is that woman? They said that woman is in Dubai. I said, so why is she a record? They said, no. We're standing by to connect her live. I said, you can do live here. I said, yeah. You can connect anywhere in the world. Like that woman right there is just waiting for us to cue her in, and she's in Dubai. And then when she speaks, we'll punch it in and then connect. We'll patch. That's the word. Patch.
Yeah, they'll patch it. Yeah.
I said, you can do live trans. We said, yeah, we can take phone calls. They were taking phone calls.
Yeah.
I said, oh, this is another level. I said, so, okay, so you mean the program that we're recording here,
we can do it live?
We can do it live. He said, yeah. I said, does that change anything? He said, no, you can either do it live or recorded. Man, I called Timmy right away. I said, Timmy, do you know we can do live here? We're going to change intro to a live program. We're going to be taking phone calls. We're going to be having connection to people. We can speak to D1 and Kenny in Nigeria. And that's how we started live. We in fact, we didn't we started Ben April 2003.
Yeah.
April, May, June. By July,
August, I think
by July we were already live because we did test runs.
Yeah.
By July we were running live, and then by August we started Black Variety Show. So basically, intro and Black Variety Show were two flagship programs. Yeah.
Now, like I said, Ben Television was the first ethnic minority station in Europe, and of course was projecting Nigeria with the intro and Black Variety Show.
Yes.
I want us to talk in terms of breaking Afrobeats music here in the UK. How important was Ben Television?
Very.
And what you guys were doing in those early years in breaking the music here?
Well, you see, the thing is, sometimes when we talk about it now, it sounds as if, we knew what we were doing. I mean, we were not naive.
But
I've done television.
What we were doing in terms of 15 years' time, but
exactly.
We knew what we're doing now.
Yes. I've done TV before. While I was in law school, while I was in film school in Florida, I used to co-produce a segment of a program called The Circuit. It's like a little student program that we do from our school.
Yeah.
And we can put it on cable channel. So I kind of knew how TV works, but I never thought that I would get like a whole TV station.
Yeah.
So for me, I just thought if we can come up with 6 hours of programming, we can run that 6 hours 4 times.
Yeah.
You understand? We can do repeats.
Yeah.
You understand? We don't have to really have like a whole
24 hours.
What did they call it? EPG.
Yeah.
So we just do 6 hours, and out of that 6 hours, intro is already taking 2 hours, and then there's a morning show that we used to do, and then we were still having our fillers with all the religious free content and everything. So we will just expand from 6 hours to 12 hours, run it twice a day, and then 24 hours. The easiest fillers is music.
Absolutely.
The easiest fillers is music, and of course, I had been managing Tribesmen.
Yeah.
I'd known people like them, Tony Tetwila, and all these people. So I just thought, you know what? Let me just go to Nigeria, just gather as many music videos. So a lot of people actually thought Ben TV, first of all, was a music station.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
We will be playing. I tell people the first music video we played is "You Don't Hit My Car."
Yeah, that
Tony
Tetula for me was a bigger star here in the UK than because we used to
because that
see-
was the first thing that
that's-
yeah.
and that record blew up here.
Like telling me, "You Don't Hit My Car," Oyinbo Rekpete. And don't forget that song is actually like a play on Ebenezer Obey as well.
Yes.
So it was like a Omodenjo Agbanjo. Like the elder people remember it from the Ebenezer Obey, and the younger people are kind of like liking it because it had Tony Tetula, and then the video was very funny. And then of course it's Triesmen, Plenty Nonsense. All the videos from Kenny's Music. I mean, big up to Kenny's Music. They really helped me a lot.
Exactly, because they were controlling the music scene in Nigeria. They had so many artists, and that meant that there was a lot of music videos that they can put up.
And I'll tell you one thing. The funny thing was when I go to Nigeria, of course, I'll go and collect music videos from Kenny's Music. But for some people who can't get their music videos on Kenny's Music, don't forget all these people from like Silver Point Beats, OJB Jezreel, Normal Loss. They used to shoot music videos in Sule all the time. Simeon, Bounce,
Infesta,
K-Show, all these people. Those people that go to AIT to go and be begging to play their music video and they can't get their music videos on. I say, give me your music video. So they're like, okay, forget Nigerian music stations. We are going to London. So a lot of people with their little music, and trust me, Shopsy, we play everything.
Absolutely. I remember.
It was not even about quality of just have a music video.
Absolutely.
And we'll play it. And basically, that is how I believe the whole movement of what we call Afrobeats today started in the UK. Afrobeats started on TV.
Facts.
On TV.
100%.
And that's what it was, yeah.
How important is the UK to the success and the growth of this genre?
Okay, so I put it the second before the first.
Yes.
The growth first, before it became a success. Because the growth was through our own people. When I say our kids, I mean the children of Nigerians or Africans that were here who were not proud of their heritage.
Facts.
Our children will be pretending to be Jamaicans. There's nothing wrong with being Jamaican or even pretending to be Jamaican. We do it all the time.
Well, we wanted to use that to just get by.
To assimilate.
Yes.
And a lot of our kids, when they started seeing all these Tony Tetula, Tribesmen, and subsequently when we started playing all the Play Dairo, Style Plus, all the videos, the pride in being Nigerian started to surface in a way that, it became like, I have young kids. And then when they go to school, they'll be singing the songs, "You Don't Hit My Car," in school, and some of their Nigerian friends to be like, "Oh, so you're Nigerian? Oh, I didn't know you were Nigerian. Your name is And then it started to mold and grow in a way that people were not that they were ashamed of being Nigerians before, but now you can come out and say, "Yeah, we're Nigerians." And then also Ronke also had a radio show.
That's where I on Empower FM.
That's where Ayo Coca.
That's how I got my show on the radio.
We really have to be giving flowers to people who start,
That's where I started too.
They used to call it pirate radio. But really, Jimmy used to say it's community radio.
Absolutely.
Don't call it pirate.
Yes.
It's community.
It's our community.
It served our community.
Absolutely.
So Empower Radio used to play a lot of, although they play a lot of Yoruba, Fuji.
Yeah, but I got on and started playing.
So between Empower Radio and then TV, our children and Nigerians and Africans started to feel the pride and just started to grow. And that's what, of course, from intro, we started doing the intro Independence Jam, intro Summer Jam. So we started doing events. Not that we're the first to do events. Big up to Black Nights.
Absolutely.
Black Nights.
Because you also had the television power.
We had the television power so we can advertise and fill up, venues, arenas, and everything just grew. And then I think the success started to come when we started bringing artists to come and perform.
To those Nigerian, absolutely.
Funny enough, Tony Tetula as well.
Was
the first. Tony Tetula and Tribesmen were the first Afrobeats. We never used to call it Afrobeats.
Nigerian artists, pop stars that came here
come to perform to the people.
Now, I want to digress a bit. So, your documentary now, the Afrobeats backstory. When you look at it, you see so many clips that you have recorded going back 20-something 30 years.
Yes.
At the time when you were recording those very crucial clips at the beginning,
Mhm.
were you thinking about a documentary, or what were you doing at that time?
Okay, so I'm a documentary filmmaker first and foremost. My first degree is in film, and my specialty is documentary. So I'm not only am I a natural storyteller, I'm a trained storyteller as well. So I know how to deliver.
Yes.
So me and you can go to the same event. The way you tell the story is different. The way I'll tell the story, you will feel as if,
What you see.
did you go to?
Yeah.
Didn't you see what these guys? But
Yeah.
because I look at things from different angles, I know how to collate and then deliver. So when people talk about, did I know there was a documentary? Yes, but did I know it was going to be a documentary about Afrobeats? No. I basically was just documenting my work. You understand? All the time I was with Wasiu Ayinde, I'll be gone for like 6 months in a year. I mean, not 6 months, a stretch.
Yeah.
I'll go 2 months, I'll come home for like 2 weeks. I did Wasiu from 99 to 2003, 2004, because I kind of like eased out when I started Ben TV.
Yeah.
In fact, when I started Ben TV, I was still kind of like managing Wasiu. So it was kind of like bit by bit. I was just documenting my workshops. I wasn't thinking of doing, this thing that we're doing now is going to be great later. I was documenting my work. It just so turned out that my work was Afrobeats. That's what it was.
Crazy.
It wasn't, I'm a documentary filmmaker, so I was conscious of me recording everything I was doing for future use. But it wasn't about the music. I wanted to do a documentary about, that's the reason why a lot of people thought that my documentary was not about Afrobeats, it was about my work, as in my life. Yeah. But really, it was about my life. It just so happens that my life was Afrobeats. Yeah. That's what people don't understand.
Absolutely.
Because when the documentary came out, a lot of people were saying, who does he think he is? Do you think you are the only one that... I said, there are some things that I'm the only one, first of all.
First of all, a lot of people also don't know what role you actually played in the culture.
And it is because of now that they're seeing me say it. Some people are saying, in fact, I told my my wife the other day, I said, I think I'm going to change my name to Who is Ayo Shonaiya? I said, you're going to become Mrs. Who is Ayo Shonaiya? Because that's what most people were saying before. Who is this guy? Yeah. And because me, I don't talk before. But now we're in the talking stage.
Talking
stage, Lawa. Yeah, so it's like we're in the talking stage now. And for me, it's not just about talk. I can show my work. Yeah, I can show my work as well. So a lot of people, the way some people resisted the documentary, not because it wasn't true.
That was shocking for me.
Yeah. No. Shopsy, if we go into that one, like even in Nigeria.
Yeah, that's what was shocking to me.
Artists that I know, artists that know me.
I know your work.
Yeah, they're now coming out. But I think it's the shock.
Yeah, that you did it.
Yeah, it's the shock. It's
the
like,
audacity.
why didn't I think of this?
Yes.
Why didn't I think of this? So the shock is, and sometimes the initial shock will make you, first of all, dismiss it.
Yeah, rejection.
No, I've known people that actually came out and said, oh no, this is not accurate. It doesn't have this person. It doesn't have... I said, I'm not doing...
It's not about personality.
Yeah, I'm not doing Afrobeats roll call.
Yeah.
I'm doing the backstory. And they're saying, well, if you're going to be calling it Afrobeats backstory, then say it is your own backstory. I said, yeah, but my backstory is Afrobeats backstory because my work is Afrobeats.
One of the things I learned in the last 1 month, especially with my partnership with Mattel, when I went there, was the presence of mind of documentation.
Yes.
There's every bit of history when it comes to this incredible brandy and cognac. When it comes to our culture, I think we have failed in a lot of ways in consciously telling our stories.
Hey, but I won't say, maybe you're being a little harsh.
Yeah.
And I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. I've heard it before. Yeah. And I always correct people when they say we have failed.
Yeah.
Some people just don't know. It's as simple as that. Documentation is not our strongest point. It's as simple as that. A sad story. I was talking to somebody a couple of years ago. No, during the pandemic. We had time to be talking because everybody was just connecting on Zoom or whatever. And they said something about, some people can go out and make content or make program because we can't leave our houses. So people were resigned to making content at home. And they said, what if the content runs out?
Yeah.
They said, well, we're going to put out repeats, right? Yeah. Okay, so what if the repeat has been repeated? Because we didn't know how long the pandemic was going to be. It could be 3 months, it could be 3 years. And some people say, well, this is where documentation matters, where you just bring out all your old stuff. And somebody now mentioned NTA, the Nigerian Television Authority. It's the biggest network in Africa at some point. I think probably still is. As in terrestrial television, not satellite. And somebody said, which NTA? NTA that all their tapes of everything that they did, they recorded over it. Yeah. I said, you're joking. Yeah. The guy said, I don't know if it's true.
A lot of it was true.
But I said to the guy, I don't believe you.
Yeah, a lot of it.
He said, true. A lot of all those them cockroach are done. Village headmaster.
They would just dub over them.
They will just dub over it because once they show it, that one is gone. I said, but what about reruns? Which rerun? Nobody. I'm like, reruns. This is what
people are eating for life.
Residuals.
Absolutely.
And I feel so bad when that person said it. He was even saying it in a way that, I said, no. Yeah. If you come to my storage in my house now, I have like a whole bunch, even with those big Betamax tape or whatever tapes, I still have it. Even though some of them that are, in fact, quite a lot of them now that I have digitized, I still keep those old tapes.
How important is us now consciously teaching this part?
This is what we're doing.
To the future.
This is what we're doing. All my children, I have not music videos. I have videos of all my children, apart from the first, my eldest. I have videotape of all my kids from birth.
Growing up.
From birth. Like, in fact, although there are some things that I did not show, but my wife will be having kids. I'm filming.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, my daughter that is in film school now, Simi, she's 20. Simi's life has been documented from birth, from the day she was born, like filmed. You understand? Her naming ceremony, her first walk,
everything.
Her first, like the same thing with so I know the importance of documentation and I teach my children and I try to, with this documentary that I'm doing, to try and teach people, document your lives. You don't know what you might have captured that will become not necessarily commercially or financially valuable later, but at least for the memories.
Even and for education as well.
And for education.
Now, Afrobeats in itself, there's always the back and forth tussle where some people say it's a non-existent term. Some people say we shouldn't be using that term. It means nothing.
Well, I think that's died down now, though.
No, but that conversation continues. Hence why we saw some of our superstars denounce it publicly. What were your thoughts about the denouncement?
Okay.
Or the denouncing of Afrobeats?
So let me say this thing. I mean, somebody told me that I shouldn't be mentioning names, but sometimes I think it's key for us to make reference.
Yeah.
The first one that actually hurt me personally was the Burna's, and he has since
cleared it up,
and I'm happy it did.
Yeah.
But it still made me feel somehow because that was at the time when I had done the first documentary
on Netflix.
And not that I was trying to force the name Afrobeats with the S down people's throats, but that's what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's why I followed. But okay, I'll give you an example. While I was filming the second season, a lot of the stuff, especially in America, I was doing it alone.
Yeah.
Because of budget and everything. So I would go to America with all my equipment, and then for every state that I'm going to, I would book ahead a cameraman. You understand? Instead of carrying somebody, which means I have to pay flight, I have to pay. So I would just be, I'll call them ahead and say, look, I'm going to pay you a certain amount. We're going to work. We're doing 3 interviews. Boom, boom. And that's what I was doing it. So I'd done New York, packed all my equipment into my rental car, and I was driving from New York. It's a 3.5 hour drive to Maryland.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you context though. You forget my long-winded story. So I'm driving from New York to Maryland.
Yes.
So to drive from Maryland, you have to go through the tri-state. So you have to go New York, New Jersey, a little bit of Philadelphia. I might go past Delaware, and you end in Maryland. When you drive through those states, it gets to a point where the wave of the radio of New York starts to fade off.
Yeah, and then you start picking up
catching
the next city and state.
On this drive, 3.5 hours drive, I kid you not, I counted it. First of all, before I left New York, I think I must have heard last maybe 4 times.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Within like an hour.
Yeah.
And then when the radio fades off,
you
tune to the next one.
Yeah.
I heard last again in New Jersey, maybe about two times. And then you go into Delaware, you go into Philadelphia or Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I heard it again 2 times. So that's almost like 2, and 3.
Yeah.
That's 7. And then when I got into Maryland, driving, to my brother's house in Maryland, I heard it another 2 times within that hour. So within like 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours, it was like 9 times. When I entered Maryland, I will tell you this, I'll never forget it. When that I'm like, oh, they're playing last again. I'm feeling proud.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy introduced the song and he said, and I quote, he said, "Here comes the biggest international record on the planet right now." I'll never forget that quote.
Boom.
The biggest international record on the planet right now. And then he kicked into that song. In my car, I was like, Burna! I was shouting. I was so happy. So even telling the story now, I'm getting goosebumps. It was only me in the car. I was like, Burna, I've been hearing Burna like 6, 7 times. I remember when you went to
see him at Madison Square Garden. You called me.
Yeah.
With emotions.
That was I'll come to that one in a minute. But I was screaming in the car like, Burna. I was singing that, I don't know what it was. It's a Burma. And then I was, anybody driving past me would be thinking this guy is crazy.
Yeah.
Now think, maybe it was like 2 or 3 days after or when he did that interview, and he said Afrobeat means nothing. Like he said, Afrobeat is about nothing. I felt like somebody stabbed me in the heart. Like I felt like why? I love Burna. I love Burna
forever.
But when he said that, I wondered why he said that, and I mean, I'm glad that he cleared it up now.
Yeah.
And, but I just felt like, and then, after that, other people now started saying, yeah, me too, I'm not Afrobeats, I'm Afro this, I'm Afro that, I'm Afro Nigbongo bus stop. Like, everybody was just adding whatever it is to Afro, trying to be different. And it didn't taste good at all. You understand? And then, of course, Wiz did the same thing by tweeting and then he was doing, like, I don't want to be, when people talk about, I don't want to be in a box.
Yeah.
I'm like, so that's the reason why we have categories at the Grammys or any awards. They're all boxes. You understand? So if you leave the Afrobeat box, where you're going to is another box. So maybe it's a bigger box. Maybe it's a bigger box with a bigger bag. Maybe it's a bigger box with a wider, it's still a box. You understand? And I don't understand why they did that, but I think they've eased off.
Yeah.
They've eased off.
So now
that.
everybody's, gradually coming back to embrace that.
And speaking about last, my daughter Fela, when she graduated as a lawyer, I promised her a treat, and I asked her what she wants. She said, well, she's a Burna Boy. She's the one that actually introduced me to Burna Boy. And she said, well, it would be a nice treat if we go to America. I said, okay, we'll go to America. We'll go to Atlanta, me and my other daughter. And she said, well, Burna Boy is playing Madison Square Garden. And she said, it would be nice but my daughter has seen every Burna Boy concert.
Yeah.
Every Burna Boy. She goes every time.
Yeah. We'll go.
So she said it would be nice to go. And then because Fela was born in New York, so it would be nice for her to see Burna Boy at Madison Square Garden. I said, okay, we'll do it. I paid 800 for 3 tickets. I paid 820 something plus tax.
Yeah.
Apart from flying to New York, we were just in Atlanta. We flew to New York to go and watch. But she didn't know that for me, it was a special moment for me as well. And I'll tell you the special moment. I used to live in New York. I used to go to Madison Square Garden to go and watch New York Knicks basketball.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a season ticket holder, but I go, especially when I lived in New York in the 80s.
When big teams are coming.
Or Houston, when Akeem Olajuwon is coming. I never miss it. Anytime Houston Rockets come to New York to play the Knicks, I always make sure I go. So I get to watch my Knicks, and then I get to see my brother, Akeem Olajuwon. For me to be in that Madison Square Garden, watching an African artist perform, my daughter didn't know that. For me, that was a special moment as well. And that was the first time he performed Last. Because when that song, the first thing I said, that's Tony Braxton now.
Yeah, when it kicked in.
And you know that song really rocked that day. It's so funny how somebody will perform a song for the first time and people will be like, Last, you don't cast.
Crazy.
So you can imagine how hit I was. But then again, it's all forgiven now. I forgive you now, Burna.
Now, looking at, my producer was asking me earlier on, I played a little bit of rotate in Wandeko. And he just got up and said, when are we going to start hearing songs like that again? And this is a continuous conversation.
No.
Don Jazzy is rotate for Wandeko. Yeah, rotate. So the last 10 years, there's been a transition of the genre and the music.
Yeah.
And I think currently it's led us to this place where some people...
Do you think it's just a transition or a betterment? I think it's gotten better.
In terms of production?
Yes, that's the first thing.
So are you trying to tell me that those records of your Rotate, of Oju Elegbashita and whatever, when you play those records, production-wise, Rotates when it comes to
production-wise, yes.
Was excellent.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying now.
The progression is...
Yeah, but now where it is, there's a little bit of a... It's almost like we don't get that many dance records anymore. We don't get... What is an Afrobeats record in recent times that's been played at weddings? Or at a Lagbo. It doesn't happen anymore.
True.
So a lot of the records are being made for the stream. What are your thoughts about?
I think they're being made for... we always say Afrobeats to the world. But
so it's being made for the world now.
But it's being made for the world. No, seriously.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
And I think that's what it is.
I get it.
But for me, that's the reason why I wish that Afrobeats artists would just say, I'm an Afrobeats artist, regardless of whatever you do. As long as you call yourself an Afrobeats artist, I'm okay.
Facts.
Because if you listen to what Rema is doing now.
That's Rema. I was just about to mention him.
Rema has gone nuclear.
Global.
Rema, you see when we were at that panel together last year.
Yeah.
And that was around the time I heard for the first time that I actually think that song is such an important song because it's almost like Lamba to the fifth level. You understand? I'm not gonna it's what we call Lamba back in the days. Like Wizkid Lamba is na, but his own is just basically talking. It's like the first thing that comes into his head.
Yeah, braggadocious.
I told somebody a story about how I used to watch Don Jazzy and D'banj produce. So when Don Jazzy lays down the beat, the first thing D'banj does is grunt and just talk a lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
You understand? But just to guide himself into how he's going to, and then he'll go and write it later.
Yeah.
So when you hear the beat, D'banj will be doing. Do you know you can actually do that now? And
absolutely.
Hopefully.
And
don't put words now. Just put it on the record. So is that Lamba, that guide, is what people are doing. But for me, I look at Afrobeats as feel-good music in a way that you don't know what we're saying.
But
you just enjoy how we say
absolutely.
It. So you can say pretty much anything.
Absolutely.
There was going back to listening to radio in New York. What's that radio station in New York? I keep forgetting now.
No.
Hot 97. Really, Hot 97, when they do it, Hot 97, home of hip hop and everything. I said they should be putting Afrobeats as well.
Yeah, because they
Hip-hop
run it.
and they were
They
playing.
would like, shout out to my Hot 97 family, man. They'll love that.
They were playing Fireboy DML's Peru,
Yeah, Peru.
and they were saying all the bad words
Yeah.
on radio. And I'm thinking these people don't even know what they're playing.
Yeah, but also that comes to some of our artists as well and their teams. They should have provided a proper radio edit regardless of what.
No, but my
territory
point.
was on.
No, but the thing is, my point is, they don't know what he's saying.
So
they're
that
just playing it because they just like how it sounds. They don't know what it means, but they just like how it sounds.
Now I want to pivot back. This is the third segment.
Oh, have
Afrobeats.
we started the interview?
Ah.
Yeah, you are consultant too.
So Afrobeats, the backstory, season 1, season 2, aired on Netflix.
Yes.
Which was groundbreaking. The world got to learn. I had friends from Switzerland, Germany, Jamaica, people messaging me, just learning about the culture and picking things up from there. But then there was supposed to be season 3.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then season 2.
Okay.
And the whole thing is now off Netflix.
Yeah. So
talk to me about that.
Okay. So basically, we did season 1.
Yep.
You know, it was good. You know, and we were, you know, we had a contract to go do season 2.
Yeah.
And I kicked into, you know, filming. I filmed for a year, edited for a year. It took me 2 years. And I don't know what happened internally with Netflix, but we started hearing rumors about Netflix pulling out of Nigeria. And I'm like, oh, that's a shame, because, you know, but in my mind, I was like, but me, I have a contract.
Yeah.
You understand? I had an agreement. I had a first look agreement, and, you know, I didn't know that it was going to affect me in a way that they basically just put a line over everything.
Are you for real?
Yeah. They just put a line over everything.
So what happened? Why did they pull out of Nigeria? Because that was what we were hearing, all sorts of things about the Nollywood industry. What did you hear about why Netflix pulled out of Nigeria?
Why Netflix pulled out, from what I heard,
Yes.
was that they realized that the initial promise and the initial hype of what Nollywood could deliver to Netflix did not happen. Netflix is metrics.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's they measure everything by the numbers.
Yep.
So if the numbers are not adding up to them, it's a failure. And I think they ran it for as long as they could. And of course, we heard the backstories and back rumors about, you know, them spending a lot of money and then finding out that a lot of the films that were made were not for, you know, the people were inflating budgets.
People were inflating budgets, and the budgets was not really touching the production.
Something like that, you know, and we don't know how true that is, but you can add 1 and 2 together and know that maybe that's what happened. Because really, a lot of, okay, let me back up a little bit. This whole Netflix thing, whether they are inflating budgets or not inflating budgets, is not all the producers or alleged producers' fault as well.
Yeah.
A lot of the fault goes to Netflix as well. Because I believe that they came to Nigeria and they didn't do their due diligence as they should.
Yep.
I believe that they sort of like mixed with the elitists and, you know, and then they got lost in the sauce.
As they always do, they never touch the real culture and the grassroots. They go in at the top, and then it's whatever the top sells to them.
Yeah, they got lost in the sauce. They came to Nigeria and thought that Nollywood was going to be like Hollywood. So by the time they found that in the numbers, that if somebody can tell you that, oh, this film we're about to make, you know, it will cost a bit, but, you know, it's going to go around the world. It just didn't, you know, at the end of the day, it's just like YouTube or your podcast and everything. You see the back end.
Absolutely.
It's not, you know, the numbers are not adding up.
Yeah.
So when they now decided, like, look, let's just first of all, what I know for sure is that they stopped doing originals.
Yep.
The originals that you're seeing now is stuff that they have committed to, and because they had paid for it, or they had put some money. Yeah. So for my own, they didn't pay for I run my own shit like
So
you know,
people like yours,
ownership.
they just let that go.
Licensing. I mean, they're still doing some licensing now, but the thing is, if you bring the licensing, they can undercut you and offer you anything. And if you don't want it, you can go.
How would this affect the Nollywood industry?
It is affecting already, because now everybody is now saying, okay, let's go back to cinema. But then again, the whole cinema thing, there are some people that know how to do this cinema thing in Nigeria. For you to have your film on cinema in Nigeria and to keep filling the seats every day, the promo. There are some people that know how to do this promo.
Funke Akindele.
No, she's a beast. You know when you talk about Mr. Beast?
Global.
Yeah, she's a beast. I think she created that template, and she knows how to do it more than anyone else.
Facts.
You think it's just her just printing t-shirts and everything, but she puts so much energy into that thing, and she knows I think Funke Akindele is a human algorithm. That's what she is. She knows her market, and she knows her. So if you are not on Funke Akindele's level in terms of promoting your film at the cinema, you have to go and reinforce your promotion. So if you are not like that, you put your, and you know how the numbers is with the cinema.
Yes.
Like you put your, I don't know if they do some 50-50 splits and everything. Meanwhile, the cinema itself, as in the building where they make their money, is not on ticket sales. So it's popcorn and the drinks. Exactly. So for you to get into cinema, now everybody's now looking to cinema again, or YouTube. Then again, people like Omoni Oboli TV, she too has cornered that market.
Yeah, on
she
YouTube.
knows that, so
Crazy.
Shout out to our women, man.
Yeah.
They're the ones
leading
leading us and teaching us how to do this thing. So we are just following. So going back to your question, the impact is being felt around the industry right now.
Yeah.
To the point where I don't want to say something that will make a lot of people mad at me, but really, I think that old Nollywood mentality, we need to move on from it.
What is that?
People talk about Nollywood as if Nollywood is some kind of sick patient in a hospital that needs constant funding, that needs drip. And that drip is funding. So there's always one United Africa,
distributors.
No, it's not just distributors. People that want to put money into, they always talk about Nollywood as if Nollywood is sick, that needs blood transfusion all the time. They talk about Nollywood that, somebody is bringing some money to inject into, they use the word inject, to inject it into the industry so that it can create capacity building, blah, blah, blah.
We need to
Meanwhile, that whole thing is a hustle.
Yeah.
All that Nollywood hustle, we need to get away from it. Let's bring investors. Me, I like to work with people that want to make money.
Yeah.
Don't work with me because you think I need help in,
Let's build something.
Yeah. Invest. Follow the money and let's make money together. A lot of people wait for, there's one fund that's coming from one foreign consortium or one African consortium, and there's always some people that stand in front of the line like
gatekeepers.
Where's the funding? Where's the funding? And that's what everybody is doing. They treat Nollywood as if Nollywood is a sick patient. Nollywood is not sick. Nollywood has been in fact, Nigerian film has been going on for decades. My all-time godfather is Eddie Ugboma. Eddie Ugboma is a guy that said, fuck the industry. And that's how he talks.
Yeah, I'll do my own.
Yeah, it's like, fuck the industry. I will raise my own money and make my films. Eddie Ugboma films today, they're like iconic films like The Killing of the President, The Mask, Oyenusi, The Boy is Good. I actually started getting interested in movie making when I was a young boy in Lagos because of Eddie Ugboma's The Boy is Good. There's a scene in Eddie Ugboma's The Boy is Good where, I don't know if you know the film. The Boy is Good. It's like, my my film King of My Country is based on The Boy Is Good and Scarface.
Yeah.
So there's a scene where he's driving around in his fedora hat, and he accidentally hit somebody on the street, and the guy's on the floor, hey, my leg is broken. We're gonna go to the hospital and everything. And Edu Goma came out, is like, why are you shouting? Okay, just go to the. And Edu Goma just brought out some money and started. Well, his character started throwing money on the guy. The guy that was holding his leg was like, oh, now collecting the money. I thought that was he forgot the pain. And I thought that was just so funny.
Yeah.
But that scene, and then his subsequent films, and the man himself, Edu Boma, like the way he talks, his brain and everything. We need people, independent filmmakers now to rise up. It's not about being part of an industry. When I hear things like, represent, they're doing something. One governor is doing something, so they have representatives from Nollywood. What is representative of Nollywood? Why are you representing an industry? Go and represent yourself. You know why? Because when there's a government fund for something, they will now say, we are the representatives of no. Look, we have to get away from treating Nollywood as if it's some kind of wounded animal that needs funding. What we need in Nigerian film space is investments.
Yep.
Investments is the same investments
business in partnership.
Proper business. Let's make money
that can build the industry.
Don't give me, and because of that money, that funding that comes, sometimes there are grants, so you don't have to pay it back. That's the reason why people hustle for it, and they form this thing that they call Nollywood. I'm not interested in any Nollywood. I just want to make film. Yeah.
Finally, I want to ask, number one, where does Afrobeats, the backstory, go from here?
We are speaking to, we've had some offers, but I mean, the offers has, they're not on the same level as the Netflix offer. So I'm kind of like waiting to see if we can get it onto, it doesn't have to be exclusive anymore. So I can sell the rights to maybe
Other
some
platforms.
streamers in America. Because really, America is my market.
Absolutely.
Don't let us kid ourselves.
Did you see the back ends?
No, Netflix, they won't give you any back end.
They didn't even tell you what
Netflix will not give you anything.
They didn't even tell you what the
they're either going to tell, they're going to tell you it's doing well, it's not doing well, it's moving, it's not moving, or something.
That was it.
Yeah, something happened, but really.
So
no.
So you don't have any specific
I have like 3 offers right now, and 2 of them are non-exclusive, 1 is exclusive. I'm kind of like weighing my options. But then again, what I'm doing is I've started my own YouTube channel called R70 Television, where I'm doing what's called the Afrobeats Podumentary. So the Podumentary is not, I can't call it Afrobeat podcast. I'm not competing with you.
No, plagiarize.
Exactly. I'm not competing with you. But the thing is, my own is more footage based. So it's more voiceover over a lot of footage that I have. And really, it's kind of like a longer version of the documentary, because the documentary I'm restricted to 40 minutes per episode.
So you're giving us moments longer.
Because I have all these tapes. So I can play it longer. Some of the little clips that you see in the documentary, you will see them longer, and I can go into more context, and I can, and that is what I'm doing right now. But don't worry, after his backstory is going to come out soon.
Is there a time frame for
my deadline for to my distributor is December. It's Christmas time. We have to make a decision and accept one of these offers by Christmas, so that we can kind of like start the year like Q1 for next year for 1 and 2, because that's what I'm doing now. I'm selling 1 and 2. So 1, if you've seen it on Netflix, fine. You see it again somewhere else.
And then
but the
followed by 2.
You've seen
Absolutely.
a couple of episodes of 2.
Power.
It's even crazier than the first one.
Crazier.
So that's what we're doing.
And the final part of the question is, where should we go from here? Afrobeats, where do we go from here?
I said it before and I'm going to say it again. When people say Afrobeats to the world, it's not Afrobeats to the world anymore. It's Afrobeats forever. So what we want to do now is what we have to do now is to make sure we keep this Afrobeats thing going. We don't want it to be a fad, because it will get to a point where some people will say, oh, Afrobeats, it's come and gone. No, Afrobeats music is the most dynamic music genre out of Africa, and it's going to live forever. This is something that at some point, I've been saying it privately, but I'm saying it publicly now. I'm going to do a PhD.
Facts.
Because for academia, we need to break down where this music came from, how we got it right. When I say got it right, in terms of, you know how you do chemistry?
Yeah.
You know, you put nitrogen,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
We got it right.
The blends.
The blend. You understand? Like how you blend Mattel with your energy drink.
Absolutely.
With some ice, that it will hit the spot. That's what I'm saying. There is a magic that happened with that blend. And that's where the fusion comes in. So I was speaking to the professor, you know, I'm having preliminary talks now about the PhD. Yeah. And he said, you have to first of all come up with a title. You can't just call your PhD Afrobeats. Yeah. You have to come up. So there must be a reason why you're doing this.
You have to
PhD.
research into it.
So I want to go into the fusion, the mix, and also the 5-beat pattern. I'm very, very passionate about it. Bah, bah, bah. Okay. Where do you think it comes from?
We thought that's high life, isn't it?
Yeah, it's part of high life. And where does high life come from?
Ghana, right?
A lot of people have been saying, somebody said to me, I gave Nigeria's Afrobeats birthright to Ghana. I'm like, it doesn't matter where I'm from. I'm just telling the original story. Yeah. But instead of me just saying it, I'm going into deeper research.
Absolutely.
About where that 5-beat pattern comes from, because I believe that is the backbone of Afrobeats. I believe so. 5-beat pattern, pan logo.
Yeah.
That 5-beat pattern is the backbone of Afrobeats.
Absolutely.
And maybe in a few years' time when I finish the program, I will have searched and come to that. Yeah. But really in a proper academic setting, not just a podcast or just saying it anyhowly. You know, this
written
is proper
down.
And written down. So that's my main thing. It's Afrobeats forever, man.
To sign us out, do you think Fela Kuti gets enough credit? If not, what else would you like for us to do?
Hold on, get enough credit from who? From the world?
No, not from the world.
From us Nigerians.
From us Nigerians.
I'm going to speak one Yoruba now. I said, Woli Okini in Lue.
Which means a pastor, a prophet doesn't have credibility at home.
Fela is not a prophet per se, as in he's prophesying the future.
Yeah.
He's just saying how things are going.
Yeah.
And he knows that the way we're going, this is where we're going to end up. And he used music to tell us, but we know here. But now, everything that's happening in Nigeria right now, forget about just music alone. Go and listen to Fela's music. You will see everything Fela's been saying it over 40 years ago. It's in the music. So, coming to your question, does it get credit? Everything I do in my life, the way I live my life, the way my creative senses and my creative juices flow, is inspired by Fela and Anikulapo Kuti. Everybody that knows me knows that. Yeah. Fela is not just music for me. Fela is life. Because I grew up around Fela from the ages of 6 to 9 and a half. I've seen the man. I have interacted with him. I have sat on the floor watching Fela speak. I learned about American Black history from Fela. Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Thomas Sankara, my blackness comes from Fela. So when you talk about Fela, to me, my daughter is even, for me, and my daughter is even born in August 97 when Fela slept. Yeah. Fela never died. Yeah. Fela just slept. It's more than music for me. So when you're talking about who is giving him credit or is he respect enough, I really don't care. All I know is Fela was a man that walked this earth and is still a man that his name will live forever. Forever lives Afrobeat. That's Fela.
Facts.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, my special guest, Ayo Shonaiya. Egbo.
The Afrobeats Podcast.